Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text StartMyQuit to 36072.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
With tax benefits and ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, apprenticeships, K-12 education, and student loan repayment nationwide. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org to learn more.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny.
Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Welcome into an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of East Idaho Game Night. Coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Program, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. I'm Sean Kane. I'm joined by Logan Kelso tonight as we come live from Iron Horse Stadium in Pocatello, Idaho, where the Skyline Grizzlies will be taking on the home team Highland Rams in a cross classification battle. Highland 6A, Skyline 5A. It's become an annual kind of event. Well, this is the fourth year of this game. Right now, Skyline has won 2, Highland has won 1. Last year, Skyline defeated the Rams 35-14, but a lot at stake tonight, I think, for both teams as far as ranking goes as we're heading towards the end of the season. Highland, fresh off the Max Preps ranking is 9. They, are at-large bid, Logan, and Skyline firmly in that third spot. So Highland needs a win tonight and probably against Madison to confirm their spot in the state playoffs.
Yeah, I'd say a must win for Highland as we'll pause here for the national anthem.
We'll take a quick break. You're watching East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down. Yeah.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Welcome, football fans.
Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night. As we just had, I think that's a first for me, Logan, the national anthem by a soloist saxophone player. Gave me Lisa Simpson vibes.
Yeah, definitely. It was a nice little rendition. I'd say one of the longer national anthems I've.
Yeah, they played out the notes pretty well. I believe there's a big marching band competition Saturday at the Mini Dome, so fine-tuning those instruments for that. But here tonight, we've got a fine-tuned matchup between Skyline and Highland. Highland comes into the season 5-2 overall. Last week was Highland's bye. The week before, they took a pretty bad beating to Rigby, which is, the favorite maybe to go back-to-back for state titles this year. Skyline coming in at 6-1, and really the only hiccup for Skyline was conference opponent Hillcrest, which Joel and I were there for that one. Last week, Skyline took on Thunder Ridge, defeated them 31-7. So it's gonna be a good matchup. Both teams play defense extremely well. There's gonna be lots of blitzing. I think defensive, both teams are top notch. I think what's going to be interesting tonight is the offensive play by both teams. Both teams have used 2 quarterbacks at times during the season. Skyline's used Cooper Thompson and Giannini the third, and Highland started with Keaton Belknap and now has went to Jacob Vincent. Belknap was facing some sort of upper shoulder injury. He was throwing the ball in warm-ups. One of the assistant coaches, Seiji Wood, was up here with us, a former broadcaster for Idaho Sports, also an assistant tennis coach. He was giving us the lowdown. Actually, he didn't give us much, but mostly does JV. But yeah, Highland's been running 2 different quarterbacks. 2 weeks ago against Rigby, it was mostly Vincent in the backfield, and Belknap, the dynamic quarterback, run, pass kind of guy, was at wide receiver. So it'll be interesting to see who leads both these teams tonight, Logan.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Like you said, Skyline brings a lot of heavy pressure packages. They'll blitz a lot on defense. So we got to see how Highland can contain that. They can establish a run game early to open up their pass game. And then a big X factor in this one to me is special teams. Skyline's special teams this year has been incredible. I mean, you have to witness them get multiple onside kicks back to back.
2 in a row. Never seen that.
They'll do some kick outs, some fake PATs, some fake field goal attempts. They're a dangerous team on special teams. Highland's going to have to watch out for that. And for Skyline, it's really just about the mindset. They've got to keep focusing on the improvement, execution of each week. That was a quote from Scott Berger, along with bringing the passion and energy coming off the bye week. Or, excuse me, that was Highland coming off the bye week. But for Skyline, coming off a big win, they don't want to get too ahead of themselves. They have 2 more games to finish the year. Lock in, like you said earlier, that 3 seed right behind Hillcrest and Bishop Kelly. Get that 3 seed while they roll into the playoffs. They've got Highland and Bonneville. And ironically, if the playoffs started right now, they'd be playing Bonneville in the playoffs.
Yeah, Skyline would be, if the playoffs started today, they'd be playing Bonneville, who they're going to finish the season off. That would be an interesting matchup if you play the team and then play it again. It's happened a couple times. And you talked about Skyline special teams, and that's big because Zion Crockett, number 5, the do-all kind of receiver, everything. He'll also punt. He's, number 5 as you're watching. Keep an eye on him. They're going to try to get the ball to him. And Skyline is going to kick off first as we start off here.
Andrew Scott and Easton Allman back to receive for the Rams.
Allman back there, and it's going to go into the end zone. And that's something we saw, Logan, when Skyline and Hillcrest played. Skyline has a good kicker. Get that touchback.
Yeah, and how much of a surplus of talent do you have to have an elite kicker at the high school level? Changes the game. I mean, they'll able to force the team to start at the 20-yard line every single drive. it's an absolute game changer. Skyline has
First
that.
and 10 on the 20.
So Highland will take over their first drive here on the 20. First and 10. Highland in the black jerseys with the red helmets, which I like, Logan. And Skyline in the white with the dark blue. Skyline sometimes looks like Duke or sometimes looks like North Carolina. Highland's jerseys, I don't know if I can think of a college. UNLV, maybe a New Mexico.
Yeah.
If they have an alternative jerseys. But I do like the black jerseys with red helmets for Highland. So here we go. Vincent in the backfield. It's going to be handoff to Mitchell. Cedric Mitchell. We didn't get into him too much, but he's been dominant at running the ball for Highland.
He's going to be key in this game. If they can establish a run early to open up the game for either quarterback, Jacob Vincent right now, if Keaton Beldow gets into this game,
on the play.
either one of them will have plenty of options if they can establish a run game early.
So no gain on that run. It could be a defensive battle, Logan. Both teams' defenses are very good. Greg Sorrell from Skyline, or Gage is 5th in tackles in 5A, 81 tackles, averaging about 11 per game. Another handoff up the middle left side. It's going to go for a few.
Cedric Mitchell, the ball carrier, picks up 4 yards on the play.
So a manageable third down here. I'm going to say about 3rd and 3? 3, 4?
3rd down and 3.
Oh, I was right. If the PA announcer was right, I was right. So 3rd and 3, manageable third down for Highland. Highland would like to get off to a fast start as the offense is, talking to Nick Sorrell, head coach at Highland. He's been around Highland for about 18 years. He would like to see this offense get going. Trips wide receivers the closest to us. And it's going to be a quarterback designed run, and he's going to get the first down and slide, and that's Vincent.
Jacob Vincent.
Yeah, nice heads-up play by the junior. Like I said, most likely a designed run. Saw the gap, gets the first down, slides once he gets past the marker. Something I've noticed in the college game, there have been quite a few QBs who have been sliding before the marker since it goes at the I think in the college they rule you down when it goes to the back of the body, where in high school they give a little more generous with the spots on sliding. I've noticed.
So first down, Highland on the 38. Vincent in shotgun. Mitchell on his right hip. It's going to be a pass on first down. Vincent escapes some pressure. He rolls to his right and just going to throw it away smartly.
Vincent's pass is incomplete.
Yeah, smart play. If he goes out of bounds, loses a couple yards. If he even makes contact to try to get a couple yards, you risk, getting banged up a little early in this one for a couple yards. Instead, just tosses it away, and it will remain 2nd and 10.
And, last year with Keaton Belknap as running back, Highland used a little more RPO run pass option. Vincent's more of that kind of sit in the pocket quarterback, but as we saw on the first down run, he does have some wheels. So 2nd and 10 after Jacob Vincent throws the ball away. Vincent in shotgun. Skyline showing a blitz. It's going to be a short screen pass, and it's blown up very well. I believe that's Taylor.
Pass is complete
for Skyline.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely 20-something, 22 or 23. I'll take Taylor there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just blew through the block, the Highland offense or wide receiver trying to pick up the block on the screen
for a 4-yard loss. That's Taylor. He's a very good defensive back. He read that play, and it was probably easy for him to read because Skyline's going to run similar screen passes to Crockett just like that. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 14 for the Rams. Vincent, shotgun. Cedric Mitchell now to his left hip. 3 wide receivers, 2 stacked close to us. They're going to put Mitchell in motion. He's a good receiver. Going to take a shot. The ball's going to be short and out of bounds. Looks like it was Kona Baldwin, which Kona Baldwin is the leading receiver for Highland. That's what they'll look for. Highland will probably have to punt here.
Yeah, I'd assume so. 4th and 14.
And I believe Cedric Mitchell also punts for Highland, so they're running back punts. Zion Crockett punts. He's running back, receiver, kind of everything. So you do have to be careful when both these teams punt. So there's a punt, and then we've got a whistle. We got
flag on the field.
Late flag.
Looks like they're going to call it on Skyline as one of the officials is pointing at Crockett.
Very dangerous to kick it to him back there. See what the call is.
Wave it off.
And
that penalty is waved off.
Waved off, as Logan stated. And the returners for Skyline have moved up a little bit after that. So Skyline in a return package. Not really much pressure on the punter. The punter's going to go to Crockett. He's going to fair catch it. And Skyline will take over.
Yeah, there's going to be some good field position for the Grizzlies on their first drive. It'll be interesting to see how they start off. They try to get the ball to Crockett's hands right away or slowly work his way in and try to get some other players some snaps early.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the game against Hillcrest, Skyline has 2 successful onside kicks. It was crazy scores. The last 4 minutes of that game was about an hour. So Skyline will take over on the 36, their side of the field. Shotgun. Crockett in motion. They're going to hand it off to Crockett right side. He's got a little bit of room. Look at 4 or 5 there. And that's Skyline. They're going to get Crockett involved as much as they can. And back at quarterback for Skyline is going to be John Giannini III, number 2. He's got a good arm. He also can run it. So you'll see Skyline's going to run a lot of reverses, misdirections, try to get their skill plays ball. Giannini's going to sit back in the pocket pass, and it's going to be short and no good. Intended receiver
Giannini's pass
was Crockett as well.
Yeah, it was read by the Malachi Mitchell on Highland. Almost touched the receiver too quick. You read it that well.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, referees will say that
it's third down.
That didn't affect the catch, and it's 3rd down. Crucial 3rd down for Highland. It'd be huge if they can get Skyline on a 3 and out to start their day on defense. Get their offense right back out there and make Skyline's defense work a little.
Yeah, with 8:04, a quick 3rd down here for Skyline. Giannini the 3rd in shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to get the pass out to Crockett. Crockett's got room. He's going to break some tackles, and he's going to go all the way. 10. Touchdown, Zion Crockett. That's a huge play on 3rd down for Skyline, and that's what Highland wanted to stop, was the big play ability, and Skyline wanted to come up with big plays. Huge.
Yeah. And I can't get the number on the block, but there's a Highland defender keyed in on Crockett, and if it wasn't for a perfect block by the Grizzly lineman, there's no way Crockett scores there. But he does get the block, and it's 6 points on the board for the Grizzlies.
So let me do I'm gonna get my slide ruler. It's about a 60-yard run. Touchdown for Crockett. That's going to put Skyline at just 7:53 to go.
Pass it. 23 took the snap.
Oh, and yeah.
Wildcat, but they're going to call pass interference on Highland. I'd assume so, as I can't get the number on Highland, but wrapped up number 1 on Skyline. But 23 on Skyline was in the Wildcat formation, no one in the backfield. He took the snap, Taylor.
Pass interference.
And then he threw it.
Yeah, and he threw it, just a kind of a lob-up pass.
So that will result in a retry, which sounds weird to say, right?
Yeah, right.
We're going to have a retry here at this high school football game.
I'd assume you run it with Crockett. You're at the 1 yard line, 1.5 yard line.
Yeah, they're just past the 1 yard line. Let's see what package Skyline sends in, and 1 point could be at a premium tonight. Highland's defense was good until that third down. Just Crockett got the edge and went to the house. And Skyline's going to line up to go for it. Going to put Crockett in motion. They're going to roll to that side. They're going to go to Crockett, and they stop him short. That was good defense by Highland.
Yeah, they threw the pass to his back shoulder. Crockett wasn't able to turn his body quick enough to make a play on that one. So Highland's defense keeps it at just 6. And Sean, I have an important score update for you. The Mariners, off a game-winning grand slam, are now up 3-2 on the Blue Jays. Just went final in
and they'll be able to take the field and share their talents with everyone tonight. Parents, we ask that you please be courteous with everybody in the stands. We know that you want to record your kids as
what are they talking about on PA right now?
Please stay away from the railings.
They don't want parents going to the railings to record.
I see.
So please do your best to record from where you're sitting so that way others behind you can be able to see. Thank you.
That's again a first. Please stay away from the railing. Which makes
stop
sense.
Supporting.
You can't have everyone up against the railing here. Iron Horse Stadium's, I think, one of the better stadiums, too. It sits here in the mountains.
I like it.
Kind of a little dip. They got the bleachers and then the natural bleachers with the grass. Highland under some heavy construction after the fire. I think there's more construction pieces and parts in the parking lot than spots to park. I didn't realize that.
I came here once last year. I remember when I came here last year, I was like, where is the football field? Because it's sunken in, so you don't really see it from street level or the lights for that even.
And then we've got the golf course in the background as well. It's dark now. You can't see it. It's going to be a touchback again for Skyline. So Skyline 3 plays and a touchdown.
Person 10
60-yard run touchdown or screen run for Zion Crockett. It was a run, right?
No, it was a screen pass. I think it'll technically, I mean, the pass went about 4 yards, so Crockett was doing the heavy lifting there, but I think it will go down as a passing touchdown.
Yeah, I think it will. Yeah, it'll go down as a pass. So Highland will take back over. Vincent shotgun. Take their second drive here, starting from the 20. Handoff Mitchell up the middle. Not much room there. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. And Highland definitely wants to get the run established.
Mitchell, the ball carrier.
Yeah, they're trying to get Mitchell inside the tackles to
no gain on the
try
play.
to get a gain there, but didn't. Skyline, good job at closing the gaps, not letting Mitchell go anywhere. Halted him right where he really received the ball.
Yeah, and head coach Scott Berger in his 17th year said the key to success tonight was stopping Highland's running back from having, you can't stop him completely, but stop him from having a huge game. And so far, the Grizzlies defense has done that. 2nd and 10. It's going to be another handoff. Mitchell up the middle. Not much room there. He'll get some positive yards. Was going to bring up another third down for the Highland Rams.
And if you're Skyline, you love this. It's about the same area you stopped them on the last drive. You got good field position off that punt. Yeah, it's honestly a crucial third down already for Highland. You don't want to go down 2 scores to a Skyline, highly potent Skyline team. But I'm going to have to convert on here.
Yeah, Highland will bring up a 3rd and 5, so a few more yards than I thought on that run. So good running by Mitchell. Get a couple extra on that final push. So 3rd and 5. Jacob Vincent in the shotgun. 4 wide receiver set this time. Man in motion. Vincent's going to look to throw, and he's got a receiver, but he drops it. I don't think he would have gotten it anyways. The pass was a little short, and it's going to bring up another 4th down.
Yeah, Vincent just hit him right at the top of the chest. Tough catch to make. It looks like it should be easy, but having a ball get fired right at your chest of Easton Almond, it's going to be a tough play to secure that ball.
And I don't think he's far enough to get the first down.
No. At least make him think about going for it. But
he was at least on that 30-yard line, and that's just about half a yard short. Apparently there's no half-yard marker, I learned. So Highland will punt the ball. And Mitchell's going to roll, and he's going to take it. It's going to be a fake punt. And Cedric Mitchell, we talked about it.
Cedric Mitchell, first down Rams.
His ability to do a fake fake punt, and there it is.
Yeah, it was a great job by Mitchell. Took a second to read the defense. Saw that Skyline was sending some guys back to help protect on the return. Saw the gap, split the gap, and he even made sure he looked at the line, make sure he was at the right spot. Steps out of bounds, and he'll move the chains for the Rams.
Once again,
Yeah, with 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Special teams have been interesting. We talked about it. And Highland with the fake punt gets their first down of the game.
It looks like Belknap's checking in at quarterback. Or no, never mind. It's still Jacob Vincent.
Still Jacob Vincent.
Let's get ahead of myself.
Belknap's like looks like a linebacker. Blown coverage. The pass is caught by Mitchell, and touchdown saving tackle by Taylor Skyline.
Jacob Vincent to Cedric Mitchell.
Yeah, Cedric Mitchell went up to pretend, he ended up pretending, went up to pretend to block for his quarterback, Vincent. Instead, blows through that block, lets the Skyline defender rush. Vincent, calm, cool, and collected, finds a wide open Mitchell for a 30-plus yard throw and catch, and it's the Cedric Mitchell drive.
It's been pretty much the Cedric Mitchell show here tonight for Highland. Fake punt, big catch, and yeah, the Skyline defender just fell, and good tackle by Taylor of Skyline, or that was a touchdown. Got him wrapped up on the shoestrings. 1st and 10 on the 20, 5:16 to go in the first quarter. Vincent's going to look at the pass. He's got it. That'll be a good gain there.
Vincent's pass is complete to Andrew Scott.
Andrew Scott on the reception, 7 yards on that pass.
That's a 7-yard gain.
Yeah, I like the little slant. Jacob Vincent looks very confident back there. He's made some not the best couple throws earlier in this game, and he didn't let that get to him. He's been able to still just fire off some solid passes under pressure both times.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of recognizing the pressure and not, freaking out, right?
Yep.
He's holding steady back there until he's got someone he thinks is open. So 2nd and 3 on the 13 for Highland. It's going to be a fake kind of handoff, and Vincent's going to take it himself. He put it in the hands of Mitchell but kept it.
Keaton Belknap with the carry.
Oh, that was Belknap this time back
Picks
at
up
quarterback.
a yard on the play.
The 2 quarterback system. Maybe it'll work this time. I always love when teams do a 2 quarterback system. I'd love to see it actually work at a system where a team. I guess Michigan kind of did it not too long ago with J.J. McCarthy, but then Alex Orgy would come in and run every once in a while. And they did win the championship with that method.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on it because Keaton Belknap is 12. Jacob Vincent is 11.
I thought Vincent's 7.
Or Vincent's, 7th. Belknap's 9.
In 12th grade there.
They go for the first down
I think they got
drive, and they're going to get it. Are the Rams extend the drive here. They'll be at the 9-yard line, 1st and goal. Highland punch one in here. 3:55 to go in the first quarter. We've got a pretty good game. Couple big plays from both teams.
I'd like to see a little bit of a swing pass to Mitchell here. Toss it to him behind the lines.
Vincent is going to heave it, and touchdown.
Touchdown,
Highland.
Even better.
9-yard passing touchdown for the Rams.
Jacob Vincent to Zayden Allo.
That was a nice little fade to Allo. Once again, just confidence for Vincent to even make that throw. Allo was covered, put it in a spot where really only Allo could catch it with his 6'1" frame. And brings it in. And keeps the ball through contact with the ground.
So that will tie the score up 6-6. 3:11 to go. Extra point pending here. Highland's going to do the traditional kick it for the extra point. There'll be no retry as that one goes in.
That extra point is good. Your Highland Rams 7.
So Highland takes the lead.
Look at that.
With 3:11 to go in the first quarter. So that was a good drive by Highland. Skyline had put the clamps down, got Highland in a 4th down situation. And we talked about this. Cedric Mitchell, the punter running back, has the ability to take it, and he did for a good run. And then the next play, a big passing play, Vincent to Mitchell for 30-plus yards, and then a couple just short little runs to get a first down. And then on 1st and goal, Highland, Vincent to Allo for a 9-yard passing touchdown.
Yeah, mine's kind of like a Big Ten football matchup. The game's being completely won between both teams' lines. Just tough physical football up front, then just tough football overall. Jay Vincent's been taking some hits by the Skyline defenders, but he's been getting the passes off, those little short passes, screen passes, very Big Ten-esque, as I expect to see some more smash-mouth football here from Skyline on this drive. Skyline's offense is still fresh. They only had three plays.
Three plays.
They've only had the ball for what? A minute here in the first quarter?
Yeah, and maybe a minute, right?
Yeah, if that.
Highlands had the ball, the possession of the ball most of the game. Kickoff is going to go to Crockett. He's going to return it. He's at the 20. He's got a little bit of space. He'll get past the 30, and Skyline will take over for their second drive of the quarter. It's pretty efficient.
Yeah, and Skyline uses Crockett. It's going to sound crazy, but they use him a lot like how Oregon uses Kenyon Sadiq, a Skyline alumni, where bigger guy, they give him some jet sweeps, give him some carries through the motion. They also do a lot of screen plays outside of just being a top-notch receiver. Dan Landon uses Kenyon Sadiq the same way that Berger used to use Kenyon Sadiq, and now he's using that same player archetype on Zion Crockett.
Yeah, Crockett also runs the 100, very high level and track. He's fast, he's big. It's going to be handoff up the middle. He's going to carry some guys with him. No whistle yet. Still waiting. Finally, we get a whistle.
Oh, that's Big Ten football, Sean.
Just inching it along. And actually, it's going to be for about 5 yards.
Yeah, Howland has a big defensive, just looking down there, the height difference. Highland's defensive line has a couple inches on the Skyline offensive line. That even graduating Bowens off last year's team, now playing on the Boise State team. I believe he's redshirting this season for the Broncos.
Yeah, and Skyline always has, the offensive line has different color helmets. And it's going to be handoff again up the middle for a first down, Skyline.
Cruz with the carry picks up 8 yards on the play.
And a lot of questions for Skyline coming into this season with the loss of Carmine Garcia. A lot of people were wondering how Skyline would look this year. They got their first test against Hillcrest. The game where Hillcrest really controlled that entire matchup. Outside really the last couple minutes, Skyline made that one look close.
Yeah.
Outside of that, this is really their next big test of the season, really their last test until the playoffs to see how legit of a contender Skyline is this season.
Yeah, I'll give you, Skyline's defense kept it to 25-0 throughout the game. I mean, Hillcrest could have put up some more points. And it's going to be a handoff to Crockett, right side. He'll get 4 or 5 yards. But, I mean, you got to give credit to Skyline's defense. They're keeping Hillcrest at like 25 points. And then, yeah, if the onside kicks don't go, I mean, it's probably 25-0. But, Skyline found or 25-7 or so.
2nd and 6.
But it was the offensive Skyline that just really couldn't get anything cooking through more than, I would say, 80% of that game. So this would be good for Skyline to get that offense where it needs to be. Is they'll play Bonneville. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Bonneville's looked good at times and had some interesting times. So they just lost to Shelley. It's going to be another handoff Skyline for some more yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I just can't believe we're already in the final 2 weeks before the postseason.
Yep.
I feel like this is one of the, I'm sure people say it every year, but this year felt extremely quick compared to most seasons. And I still have I feel like last year I had most of my answers for a lot of these teams around this time. This year there's so many question marks on what teams I really think are true contenders, especially, the 6A level is very interesting. Is Rigby going to repeat? Does Highland have a shot to make a run?
And then,
Rocky Mountain, are they really the #1 unstoppable team? Timberline, I believe, still trucking along.
They've got 6 or 7 D1 offered
players. What a turnaround there.
Timberline and Rocky Mountain tonight. I think that will answer a lot of those questions as we've got 25 seconds left. The clock stopped. Not sure if we had a timeout or...
And the 5A level is a little more clear. It seems like Hillcrest, Bishop Kelly, a little bit of a gap. But then you have Skyline. You have undefeated Century still.
Lakeland up north is undefeated as well.
Sandpoint has this scary QB wide receiver connection that could cause problems in the postseason.
Yeah, Sandpoint Lakeland tonight, also another big one. And Lewiston took care of business against Sandpoint last week, which is crazy. So third down here, it's going to be handoff, and it looks like Skyline will get it. I didn't quite see who got the handoff as time expires. The first quarter time expired. We'll see.
That's the end of the first quarter.
A fast first quarter.
They rule for the first down. It will be a first down.
There'll be a first down. So, end of the first quarter. Highland ahead 7-6. East Idaho game night. We'll take a quick break and be back for the second quarter.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night as we switch fields, start the second quarter. Highland ahead 7-6. As I will change the quarter on there.
Crockett in motion once again. Be a keeper.
Keeper Giannini III will take it out of bounds.
Giannini, the ball carrier, forced out of bounds by Cody Wallace.
You gotta say Giannini III. It's just
Giannini picks up
Giannini,
play, 2nd and 7.
John Giannini
Who was
III.
the Italian QB for the Giants? Oh, Tommy DeVito.
DeVito.
Ben DiNucci was another guy, that journeyman NFL.
So,
Italian quarterbacks, man.
Giannini III on that run will pick up 3 yards. 2nd and 7 on the 44. Only Skyline's second possession. We're into the second quarter. Just started, 11:53. Giannini in the back. He's going to fake the handoff. They're going to hit the Crockett. And he's going to be blown up in the backfield by Highland. And that play was very similar to the Skyline blowing it up on the screen pass.
Yeah, that was trying to see the number. I think 6.
Loss on the play, brings it back 3 yards.
Maybe Hunter Burrell, but the smallest guy on the field was the one that laid out the first hit, knocked Crockett off balance. Then
Crockett didn't go down, right? I mean, it was a big hit. Didn't go down. Did take 2, but that will be a loss. So that'll bring it back to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 10. Last time Skyline got a 3rd down this close, it was a touchdown. We'll see what they draw up here. Giannini in the shotgun. He's going to roll to his left. He's going to look left. He's got a receiver wide open. That was a good-looking pass to number 1 of Skyline.
That's a 10-yard gain.
To
It'll be a first down for the Grizzlies. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line.
Malia Fua came through. Just sat there uncovered.
Yeah, he's the kind of the go-to receiver for Skyline after Crockett, right?
Yeah.
I mean those short kind of passes or pitches. So first down on the 37, Skyline. It's going to be a handoff, right side, middle. Get a couple yards.
I think it was, man, with you, Sean. I have a tough time reading some of these numbers from up here.
Yeah, bear with us. Skyline's got those white jerseys with baby blue numbers. And they are not sticking out.
And the font they use doesn't have very sharp edges, so it's tough to even.
And a lot of their jerseys are bunched up. But I'm not going to make excuses, Logan.
No, we should be,
we'll
we should
get
be
it.
better. I should have brought my binoculars. I should have brought you some binoculars.
Yeah, that would be odd if you were on the camera and had binoculars on.
Right.
Fakes the handoff. Genie is going to air it out. 2 Highland defenders, and it's an interception for the Rams. And he's bringing it back all the way back to the line of scrimmage at the 40.
Toss is intercepted. Marshall Glenn with the interception.
Dangerous pass. Had no one open, decided just to throw it to what looked like one-on-one coverage. Ball kind of up there way too long. And Highland's safety just came over, glided over, makes the catch. And then just a nice return. Gets it right to where really Skyline was throwing the ball.
Yeah, it was dangerous. There was 2 Highland defenders, one coming in short. And it was easily picked off by the Rams. And I believe it's Marshall Glenn on the interception. Number 30, the senior. Highland will hand off to Mitchell. Mitchell's got room and just barely brought down. Fans are going to want.
Easton Almond picks up a first
this
down for the Rams.
Almond on the first down there.
It's a 29-yard gain.
Yeah, what a great play design. Just toss over to his left. Almond wide open. And Almond cutting through the seams. And he wasn't getting taken down. They had to pull him down by the sleeve of his jersey.
Yeah, keying in on Mitchell, and they go to Almond. Just a short little pass right at the line of scrimmage. Almond breaks one tackle, and he was going to go all the way if jersey wasn't held on to.
Right.
Vincent out to Mitchell in the flat. Left side, Mitchell makes one move. He'll get past the 20, and, you know, in the pregame talk, kind of the question mark we had for both teams was the offense, and right now, Highland's offense is burning.
Yeah, the first team all punter, Cedric Mitchell, putting on a stamp early in this game.
Yeah, I like the play to Almond. You know, the defense is keying in on Mitchell. So Vincent in the shotgun now. Mitchell behind him. 1st and 10 on the 20. High snap. Vincent's going to pitch it back to Mitchell, and that's going to almost be disastrous, but Mitchell makes one spin move, gets a couple yards back, but it's still going to be a loss with 8:57.
That'll be a 6-yard loss for the Rams.
6-yard loss, okay.
Second down and
Yeah, kind of just probably should have just taken the hit and go down. We've only been a couple yards, but Justin Mitchell, like you said, it could have been really disastrous. That ball kind of came out of his hand a little bit odd. And
yeah, the high snap, and then Vincent looked, and I thought he was just going to run it because it was the high snap. And as soon as he looked at Mitchell, Skyline's defense, 4 or 5 of them bared on down. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 16. Skyline can ask for a better defensive play right there as Highland is kind of marching down after the interception. And Vincent's going to look to throw, in trouble. Avoids one sack, gets it out, and ball's dropped. I don't know if they're going to call this a completed pass or not. It looks like it bounced off the ground.
That pass is complete.
Okay, they're going to call it complete.
But it'll bring up another.
I will say it was a
on
good
the
job by
play.
Vincent to avoid the sack there, as it looked like for sure he was
It'll
going
be
to take
third
down
down and
by
long
a
for the
triangle
Rams.
of Skyline defenders. And then he still got out and got the pass off, but sadly there's just no space to get.
Unfortunately, he did get the pass, but the pass was for a loss.
Yeah, so now, they're 10 yards behind the sticks without taking a sack?
It's 3rd and 22. It was 2nd and 16. Now it's 3rd and 22. So if he would have gotten sacked in the first place, it might have been actually closer. It would have been at the original line of scrimmage. But 3rd and 22, 7:22 to go. It's in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers close to us. He's going to go to the left side in the flat. And that's going to go for a few yards, but that's going to bring up a 4th down. And
Mitchell with the carry picks up 5 yards on the play. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Rams.
I believe the Rams have the leg for this. You know, and Highland always has.
They really do.
Always, I feel like for 20 years have a really good kicker. And let's see what they do. Yeah, it looks like they're going to line up for a field goal. This is he's going to be kicking from the 35 plus the end zone.
What was it, 45, 50?
And it's going to go good.
That field goal is good.
Booming kick.
Huge field goal by Highland.
That's good for 45 yards.
45, was that number 30? Looks like it. Marshall Glenn.
Your Highland Rams 10, Skyline Grizzlies 6.
I believe the kicker is Seth Barchi.
Barchi, okay. I think the first field goal I've seen made in my 30-year broadcast at Idaho Sports. I think this is the longest field goal I've seen in Idaho. Outside of, I think when I saw Hershey kick some pretty deep ones for Highland back.
Another great Highland kicker.
Is he still over at Arizona State? Or
you know, I don't know. And then last year, Highland also had a good kicker, and I'm blanking on his name.
And their kicking really won them a game earlier this season. Their 11 a.m. kickoff game.
Oh, here
kickoff versus Slam Academy. Or no, where's that?
Legacy. Is that the Nevada school?
No, well, it was Slam Academy. I think it was Slam Academy where they had like 5 or so.
Oh, that was in the dome.
Yeah.
So Highland will take the lead with 5:49 to go, 10-6.
Oh no, it was Lake City. It was Lake City. That
Yeah,
was
Lake
all
City.
Field goals.
Yep, it was here on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, that was because I remember our KPI sports reporter, Kate Calvin. He was here, and he was like, big noon kickoff here in Pocatello.
So here we go, Highland to kick off. Skyline just in that kickoff is going to be, I believe, a touchback. It didn't go out of bounds. It's right out of my
I think
purview.
it went all the way. I think it went all the way past the end zone. Didn't even bounce in the end zone. So booming kick, which he let Crockett return his first one, which they actually did pretty successful, taking him down around the 23, 22-yard line.
So Skyline will just take their 3rd possession.
Yeah.
With 6:42 to go in the 2nd quarter.
I'd imagine they run the ball a little more on this drive. They haven't really established a run game so far.
So we'll see. Giannini the 3rd in shotgun. They'll pass out to Crockett. Crockett can't handle it hot off his hands. He wasn't going to go anywhere. As I'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for Skyline.
And Skyline will get the ball to start the second half. So they have a long, sustained drive here. Keep Highland scoreless. They can put themselves in good position here to start the second half.
Game update, Pocatello and Preston playing just a few miles away in a conference battle, 0-0 in the 2nd quarter.
That should be a good one. I mean, really a 50-50 game.
Nice run here for Skyline, and it'll go for
Giannini, the ball carrier.
6 yards.
Picks up 6 yards on the play.
6 yards.
Picks up 7 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
They'll give him 1 more yard.
A little QB keeper, it looked like to me.
Giannini the 3rd takes it himself. They'll bring the play in.
A lot of good games today. Hillcrest Rigby.
Yeah, Holt
Post
Slate.
Falls, Coeur d'Alene. Butte County Grace.
Yeah, well, no, Butte County Grace is next week.
So yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm doing that. Am I the wrong game?
Yeah. Giannini's going to drop back. He's going to cross the middle. And it's intercepted again by Highland. And Highland will be.
McKay go with the interception, flags on the field.
Another interception. There'll be penalty too.
Yeah, McKay Gallo getting that one. Is there's going to be another flag. That'll definitely be for the celebration. Highland did the NFL style. Everyone runs down to the end zone after an interception. But
another dangerous pass by Genie the third.
I'd assume if that flag came down, then it's probably against Skyline, right?
We'll see. The flag was definitely after the play had ended, I thought.
There's one during the play and then one after the play.
It's going to be against Highland because they're bringing the ball back here.
Holding on the return against the Rams.
On the return.
Holding on the Rams on the return of the interception, so I'll back the Rams up. Still probably in field goal range.
Yeah. What a great first half so far by Highland. They'd cap it off big time here if they get some more points on the board, especially a touchdown. Put a 2-score game before the second half. Skyline gets the ball, starts the second half. This is crucial for Highland to punch this in.
Vincent is going to pass it to Mitchell with blockers in front of him. He's going to cut in the middle. He's going to get a huge chunk. So that pass to Cedric Mitchell is going to bring him up to where the original return of the interception.
Yeah, Cedric Mitchell's been having a great game, but I don't get how they've let Mitchell burn them a couple times this game, and they let him just go completely unblocked. There was no one even covering Mitchell there. And with Mitchell's wheels, if he has any gap, he's going to bust through the seam, and right there he gets it down to the 13-yard line.
If you're Skyline and you see Mitchell move out to that wide receiver spot anywhere in the field, you've got to put someone on him.
Against the railings or stand in front of others. You are also not permitted to enter the track.
The announcer just announced Logan cannot go run on the track. Pass up and through the hands.
Incomplete, intended for Zayden Hollow.
Well, that's the Hollow. Zaylen Allo unable to hold it. Kind of a dangerous pass there to the corner of the end zone. 2 Skyline defenders there as well.
Yeah, you can tell he trusts Allo. Second time it's kind of got a little high where only Allo can really make that catch. But actually, Allo, I think the ball, if I'm not mistaken, went through his hands. He looked like he had maybe a play there. I don't know if he would have been able to get a foot down. But there was an opportunity.
He had a chance. And I've been impressed with Jacob Vincent's accuracy. He's putting the ball where the receivers have opportunity to catch it. I don't know if you can ask for more. 2nd and 10 on the 13. 4:29 to go, second quarter. Vincent's going to air it out again, and it's caught, and it's
touchdown, Rams.
It's touchdown. Almond this time for a 13-yard pass.
Fans, please do not throw anything onto the field.
Yeah, great job there. Almond came in, no one there. Nice little dump pass. I've been loving the short pass game by Vincent. I love that Sorrell's letting his junior quarterback just really manage this game. Junior, him and Mitchell, another junior, are really putting on a show so far for the Rams. And if you're on Skyline, on the other sideline, just like that, it's 2-score game.
Yeah, where you started out scoring first and then 2 interceptions on your 2 pursuing drives. The Rams will kick it. And just, you would almost call it like conservative by Highland.
Yeah.
They're not airing it out except for that 1 30-yard pass to Mitchell, which was kind of a broke play. But, yeah, conservative kind of short passes and letting your athletes get into space. And so far, if there's a little bit of green turf, Highland's been able to capitalize, bringing the score to 17-6. Where it was kind of looking to be a defensive battle. It's turned into Highland's offense finding another gear. But 4:24 still time. Like Logan said, Skyline will get the ball at half. So a score here and the ball back at half, I mean, drastically changes the course of this game.
Yeah, if you're Skyline, you take a deep breath. You score on this drive. At this point, probably won't be enough time for Highland unless it's a 3-and-out to get the ball back. Really have a sustained drive to put on more points. So if you're Skyline, you score a touchdown here, score flipped.
It could. All right.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Rams to kick off. I'm sure they'll be aiming for that end zone as they do. I'm just, where does Highland get all these kickers?
Right? They just, I guess, out in their school district range, they just get talker. Maybe there's a coach. Maybe there's a coach that's just really good at kicker whisper.
It's going to drive me nuts that I can't remember the kicker from last year because he also played defensive back and had a couple interceptions against Pocatello in the Black and Blue Bowl last year. Was that? Well, Skyline will take over on their 20, 1st and 10. You get a feeling it's a kind of a must-score situation from Skyline. Not necessarily, but second half, but you get a feeling like they've got to do something here offensively. It'll be a delayed handoff, left side, and not much room. Skyline will get 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, nice job there wrapping up Crockett. Not an easy guy to wrap up. They get some help defense, take him out of bounds.
Picks up 3 yards on the play.
You know, they'll let Crockett get 3 yards any day.
I think if you're Nick Sorrell, who was a long-time defensive coordinator for the Rams team, you're going to be fine with 3-yard Crockett runs, especially when Skyline's down. If Skyline's up, you're not going to be too happy with just continuously short yardage but getting first downs. But it'll be 2nd and 7, 3:41 to go. Genie, the 3rd and shotgun, puts Crockett in motion. He'll take it on the handoff.
This is a better start for Skyline. You're getting 3rd and short sound instead of 3rd and long.
Yeah, Crockett will get a few more and make it a 3rd and call it
That's a 6-yard gain.
2, maybe a 1.5.
This is an interesting 4-down territory if it gets to there. I'd assume, actually, I don't really assume either. I could see it go either way. You know, if it's still close on 4th down, I'd assume he might go for it, but then he risks the Austin Highland going up 3 scores before the 3rd half or 2nd half.
Yeah, it's right in the range where you almost maybe go for it. So maybe 2 plays here from Skyline. Giannini will take it himself. He's going to, I think they'll give it to him after it's all said and done, but not by a lot.
Yeah, it's a couple yards. It's some good forward progress. Does some hard sprints to get out for the line. And then the Rams beat him past.
Stop for the Rams.
Got 1 yard past the marker. It'll be a fresh set of downs for the Grizzlies.
Bring up a
and you see now it's not a,
from the 35
you don't really see Skyline setting in to throw the ball right now after two picks. And Logan had heard that the other quarterback from Skyline might be hurt. That's Cooper Thomas, excuse me. So we haven't seen him tonight. It'll be another run for some short yardage. But, you know, that will be the battle, right? Skyline probably just can't keep running.
5-yard gain for the Grizzlies. 2nd and 5.
The Highland defense is going to keep scooting in. Both defenses like to get after it, you know, blitz, put guys in motion. So 2nd and 5. So that was a pretty good run or a pretty good spot. Either way, there'll be another handoff to the left side. That'll be a first down.
Looks like Caden Cruz there.
That'll be another first down for the Grizzlies. Hunter Burrell on that tackle for the Rams.
Yeah, Cruz on that run.
Skyline's still, both teams have all 3 timeouts, so they have plenty of time and plays to work with.
Clock a little bit of an issue for Skyline, right? We're the 139 mark here in the second quarter. They're only at the almost the 50, the 49-yard line. It's going to be another run up the middle, a little bit of space. Again, that clock's going to continue to
8-yard gain for the Grizzlies. 2nd and 2.
Continue to roll, bring up 2nd and 2.
Yeah, nice little QB keeper. Yep. 2nd 2, like you said, clock's rolling. They're taking some precious time off this clock, already 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be down to a minute by the time Skyline runs a play. 110, still waiting. And, 105. Finally, they snap the ball, fakes the handoff. They do pass it. The pass is high to the intended receiver.
That's one way to stop the clock.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see a little more urgency. You're down 2 scores. You could have gotten 2 plays out of that buck 30.
All right, fans, let's make some noise. It's third down.
And now it's 3rd and 2. Right, you've been successful running the ball. You probably could run for this first down, but that clock is going to roll. I guess they will stop if they get the first down and move the chains.
They do have 3 timeouts. It'll be the more question is if they're able, if they have the confidence of Vincent to take some deep shots to the end zone.
So here we go, 3rd and 2, 59 seconds to go. Genie is going to drop back, tons of pressure. He does get the pass off, and
that pass is
intercepted. It was.
It's intercepted again. I thought it hit the ground. Holy.
Gallo second.
Interception.
Gallo with his second INT.
Wow, 3 timeouts for Highland. They can realistically put up another score here. They're at the 50-yard line. Wow.
3 interceptions, and McKay Gallo says, hey, if not the gaming out defensive players, the IdahoSports.com player of the games, I noticed. He let us know 2 interceptions and 3 costly turnovers for Skyline as Highland takes over at their own 50-yard line. Vincent drops back. It's going to be a short screen. He's got blockers. It's Mitchell, and he'll smartly go out of bounds, and smart play design there. Takes minimal time off the clock.
Yeah, beautiful little screen. Mitchell didn't really need a screen. They weren't really covering on Mitchell. They're letting the pass get off. They let Highland get all their blockers ready on that, and it ended up working out well. A nice 11-yard gain.
Highland's kicker kind of warming up here right in front of us, 31. Seth Barchi. He's got a leg. So 1st and 10, 46 seconds. I don't think Highland's taking a timeout either. Another short screen kind of pass to Mitchell. He breaks free. He's going to go 10. Touchdown. Highland.
Oh, Cedric Mitchell.
I want to say out of the one.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
At the 1-yard line.
They're going to say
for another Highland Rams first down.
They're going to say one out at the 1-yard line, but
1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
I thought it was a touchdown.
Yeah, Mitchell looked at Gallo and said, I don't know about defensive player winning player of the week.
Yeah, Mitchell.
He's having himself a game as well.
Yep, Mitchell. I would say this might be a handoff to Mitchell here. Still 30 seconds. They'll take it in. We'll wait for the call. It'll be touchdown Rams.
Touchdown Rams. Keaton Belknap.
Belknap comes in for the keeper and gets the 1-yard touchdown. And that was disastrous for Skyline.
Yeah, just a nice little keeper. Puts another point on the board. Man, who would have thought? I would have not have thought this would be a 3-score game going into halftime.
That took about 10 seconds, where Skyline took almost a minute to run. Wow. Extra point is up and good.
Coach's extra point is good. Your Highland Rams 24, Skyline Grizzlies 6.
Yeah, what a start. 24-6. I still wouldn't count Skyline out of this game. I mean, they have the firepower to get right back in this, but with 37 seconds, if you're Skyline, Sean, do you just run the clock out and just go to halftime, just take your losses, or do you try to? You still have 3 timeouts. They didn't even use a timeout in the last drive, so.
Yeah, Skyline, 30 seconds. I think the way Highland's kicking the ball, we got to assume it's going to be a touchback. I don't know if you do too much.
Right.
You're getting the ball back. Although if we don't get a touchback and maybe a Crockett or Taylor
right,
gets a return.
And if you're Highland, if you really want to, you can't save the timeouts. You could use all 3 timeouts and realistically get
the ball back.
Get the ball back, and if you get them at good enough field position, and you get a 3 and out, and get in with the leg of your kicker, honestly, might be a good option for Highland to use those timeouts if Skyline's going to run it.
The wind's going to blow the ball off the tee.
A staple here in Idaho. I see this at least twice a game.
So he's going to hold it. Don't see this too often. And I don't think it's going to matter. That ball is going to go firmly into the end zone. And, yeah, so I think if Crockett gets a return and they get something, maybe, you get to the 40-yard line, maybe you go for it. But starting from the 20, I don't know. We'll see what Skyline draws up here. That's the Highland marching band setting up here.
Wish I had a Highlands defense on my fantasy team.
Yeah, their defense is.
I'd be having a week.
It's one of those. It's one of those games where the offense is definitely thinking the defense, right?
Yep. 3
interceptions. Gallo. Okay, Gallo with 2 of those.
I mean, this is a 6A, 5A matchup. A lot of people will be like, oh, yeah, I mean, it should happen 6A, 5A. But Skyline's been such a dominant 5A program. A lot of people just respect them as a 6A school.
Skyline will run a play, trying to get out of bounds. They won't get it. Crockett won't get out of bounds. The time will continue to run.
Tackle made by McKay Gallo.
Skyline not electing to take any timeouts, so.
And Highland none on defense.
Probably one more play. No, they won't even have to.
2nd and 6.
It'll be 2nd and 6, but they're not going to run another play, and we'll go to halftime. So at halftime, Highland leads 24-6 over Skyline.
24, Skyline Grizzlies.
As Highland tries to even up this matchup right now, Skyline has the lead in this cross classification matchup, and Highland leads 24-6, and those points have come from defense. Highland with 3 interceptions too from McKay Galloway. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the halftime show on IdahoSports.com.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text StartMyQuit to 36072.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Help dreams come true with the Ideal 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits and ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, apprenticeships, K-12 education, and student loan repayment nationwide. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes, and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org to learn more.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
We're Valley-wide Cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2 or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
Welcome back to IdahoSports.com East Idaho Game Night. As we're at halftime here at Highland, and there's a big band performance, so we have an extended halftime this evening, and I believe it's in due to the competition. The marching band will be participating. at this weekend at the the ICCU Dome.
This
Wanted
guy,
to say
showing your age.
Oh, the old man saying mini dome. Cancel him. But every week on IdahoSports.com, we have the top plays of the week, and we're going to go to the top plays of last week here in Idaho, and then we'll be back for our halftime show. It's East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Highland Ram cheerleaders.
Well, welcome in to East Idaho Game Night as Highland leads Skyline at 24-6 in this cross-classification matchup. We had the big band performance. Now we've got the mini cheerleader performance, which I understand now why they were saying don't stand on the rail. I didn't get it why the PA announcer kept saying we don't want parents on the rail, but now it's got to be 50
at least.
This has got to be the biggest little cheer clinic I've ever seen going on here at Iron Horse tonight. Like I've never seen this many.
Yeah, no, this is a record for me too.
And this is pretty amazing. And typically what they do with these, because my daughter did it, is like they have the littlest kids in front and it goes back by ages. But man, that's a lot of kids. And so the PA kept saying, please don't stand on the railing, because every parent wants to get their daughter's video replay. The good thing is if they would have had relatives watching at home, it's on IdahoSports.com for free right now.
Oh,
yeah. And you could have, and now that we've got it all on here, you know, when this does come available, you could get the digital download. I believe it's only $5 or $6. Don't quote me on the price, but you've got it. But after that performance by I don't know what they're called, maybe junior Ram cheerleaders.
I'd assume
there's
so,
always some catchy play on name. Yeah. We've got a pretty good game here. Well, it was close to start with, and then Highland kind of took the advantage. But how do we get there? Well, Highland went 3 and out. Skyline on their first possession. Crockett's 60-yard short pass turns into a touchdown, and Skyline goes ahead 6-0, and you think, well, maybe Highland's in trouble. And then next possession, Highland has a 3rd and long around their own 20-yard line, and Cedric Mitchell fakes the punt. They get a touchdown. They drive it the length of the field after another big Cedric Mitchell pass for about 30 yards, and then a 9-yard pass, Vincent to Allo for Skyline's first score. And then that's just the first quarter.
Yeah.
That took all the first quarter. We go in the second quarter, which the second quarter will be a quarter Skyline will want to forget as they start off their drive, throw an interception, leads to a 45-yard field goal by Highland. Then Skyline's next possession is a McKay Gallo interception. Then Highland gets down, gets another touchdown, 13-yard pass to Almond. And then Skyline with the ball again. Gallo with his second interception. So there's 3 interceptions by Skyline. That interception, the third interception, leads to a run yard. Keaton Belknap, quarterback sneak touchdown to bring the score to 24-6. But 3 interceptions in the second quarter it's kind of where we're at right now, Logan.
Yeah, it's really only one punt this entire game, and it was the first drive of the game by Highland. Outside of that, it's been an action-packed performance. Highland's been terrific today. Obviously, Gallo, 2 interceptions, difference maker on defense, but it's really came in thinking Skyline, put a lot of pressure on the Highland offense, a lot of blitz packages, which they have. It's just been Vincent's been able to be calm under pressure and make the pass. Cedric Missile, due to the blitzes, has really been open on a lot of them, and they've been able to connect. And then on the Skyline, Highland has been rushing them, blitzing them. They've been putting pressure on their quarterback all night, forcing them into mistakes, 3 interceptions. But yeah, it's really been the Gallo and Cedric Mitchell show so far in this first half. But I wouldn't say Skyline's out of it. They'll receive the ball, start second half with Zion Crockett and Zane Grog and their entire offense. They can bring this game back to 1 score, even tie it up rather quickly.
Crockett, dynamic player for Skyline, can score quickly, as we saw in the first quarter. 3rd play, touchdown. You got to think Skyline's got to come out and find a way to score here early in the second half action. But a pretty good defensive battle by Highland. Highland's defense really getting the job done. Interceptions. I think a couple of Jeannie the third's throws were bad throws, and then I think one was a big play by Gallo, especially that 3rd interception.
It was a little screen pass, but Highland broke through way quickly, and it had to be quick pass. And Gallo, it was almost like both players caught the ball, and Gallo kind of ripped it out of the Skyline running back's arms.
And all those drives, Skyline was moving the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Getting first downs, moving the sticks. Skyline was progressing. Skyline probably possessed the ball 75% of that quarter, but only got 6 points. So there'll have to be some halftime adjustments from Skyline. And then if you're Highland, I think the only thing Highland's missing is a Cedric Mitchell touchdown. He's done pretty much everything else for the team. Jacob Vincent, the junior quarterback, doing a great job. Really what seems to be his second full-time at the reins, because I know at Rigby he was pretty much full-time, and then at Pocatello versus Highland it was kind of back and forth, but getting the job done. Oh, and let's go ahead, Logan, and let's look at our Friday night flash on IdahoSports.com.
We'll start at 6A. I'm not like Joel. I'll bounce around the entire state, not just East Idaho. Eagle beating Board 27-6. Not really too much of a shock there. Board's been having a solid season though. Minico Madison. This was an interesting game. Another cross classification matchup. 6-6. Madison loves playing these close, low-scoring games this year. Meridian up 27 on Centennial. Waihee 14-7 on Mountain View. That's kind of a similar matchup to we have here, where it's 2 teams kind of figured out on which team, if the teams are real or not.
Yeah.
Rigby leads Hillcrest 13-8. That's probably the biggest game out in East Idaho, right up there with ours right here. Rigby controlling that one. Blackfoot leads 13-7 over Thunder Ridge. That's another what should be a real close, good matchup. Blackfoot kind of been overshadowed by Century on their rebuild. Blackfoot came back last year to make the postseason. This year, having a better year on their head coach's second season. And then Timberline, maybe the shocker of the night, 24-7. Well, not shocker if you're Sean or I, but shocker to most, leading Rocky Mountain 24-7. And does Boise have really their first championship contender since, I guess, the Austin Bolt Bora days?
I mean, we have to put an asterisk to that, because I did on the Gridiron Picks on IdahoSports.com. You do get a chance to win $25. I have won it. I don't want to brag. I've won 1 week. I'm in the top 5. I did pick Rocky Mountain to win this game, but I did have a feeling. Timberline. It might be the time for Timberline to shine. They've got just a boatload of talent on that team. I believe it's 6 or 7 D1 offer athletes, and I've been waiting all year for kind of Timberline to make it. This is a game, right? They win this game. Now we've got a Timberline in the conversation, but we do have to put an asterisk to that. I did pick that team on those gridiron picks, which we do every week, and it's kind of fun to beat everyone else.
Bishop Kelly leading Ridgeview 22-13. Probably as expected. Maybe people expected maybe a little more of a blowout there. Columbia leading Valley View 7-2. Fun little score. Then other scores at that level. Preston, where Joel's at, just a couple miles, what would it be, west of us? Preston leads Pocatello 6-0. That game's at halftime. And Twin Falls beating up on Burley in somewhat of a rivalry match, 21-0. Say rivalry, they're pretty close. It's it has to be one of the closer, outside of Treasure Valley, one of the closer all-around conferences.
Preston Pocatello, right? Century beat Preston last week in a come-from-behind win to be ahead of in the conference, only 3-team conference, Century, Preston, Pocatello. So Preston and Pocatello were in the playoffs earlier. Now both teams outside looking in. So if Preston were to lose and go 0-2 in the conference, they're pretty much not going to make the playoffs. Pocatello, who was the defending champs last year, Preston won the district championship last year. So, kind of a lot of implications there. Preston gets a win there, beats Century in the final game of the season. Then,
they're top 8 seed.
Yeah, who knows what happens. Or if Pokey beats Century, you could have a 3-way tangle there. But it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But that Minico-Madison score really sticks out at me at 6-6.
Yeah, Minico's kind of another one of those teams where they kind of get the respect, kind of similar to Highland last year for a really long time, where it's, they might have lost a lot of talent, but we kind of assume that they're still a really elite team. Minico got absolutely boat raced by Bishop Kelly at home earlier this season after knocking them out in the postseason last year. And this year, we've kind of been wondering how legit is Minico. They get a win over Madison, all of a sudden that really, I think, propels, at least in my mind, that Minico could maybe make a semifinal finals run once again. The 5A level is very interesting. I think it's Hillcrest, Bishop Kelly are 1-2. Then after that, you kind of got an
Skyline.
Insane mix of different teams.
Skyline. I'd go Bishop Kelly, Hillcrest, and then I'd do a tier with Skyline, Lakeland, and then after those 4, who knows?
I feel like you got to add Century on the 5, especially if Skyline, if the score were to hold and Skyline loses. I've been preaching the Century. I know you're, I'll speak for you. I know you are an employee there. I've been pounding that drum. Rank Century. If you're 6-0, 7-0 now, I feel like you gotta at least respect 7-0. I know a lot of people don't respect their schedule, but that was their schedule. They executed it 7-0. Haven't really had a blip yet, and they played a lot of close ones, but they're just learning how to. They came off an 0-8 years. They're just learning how to win closeout games.
Well, yeah, last year they were not in a lot of close games.
Yeah.
And a couple interesting scores that are very interesting for East Idaho in 3A. Aberdeen Westside, which that's a big game, but in the second quarter, Westside winning 21-0 over Aberdeen. Didn't see that coming.
Westside's a machine, man. They're
late season. Westside is a different beast. And the other big game in the Nuke Conference, Ryrie and North Fremont. Ryrie up 14-0 over North Fremont. That Nuke Conference, every team has only lost one game except for Ryrie, who's undefeated. So there's 3 teams in that conference that are going to probably make the playoffs, I believe. So some big matchups there. Aberdeen 0, Westside 21. That surprises me.
What I was going to ask you, since you're East Idaho expert, people are saying Sugar Salem's the clear best team at the 4A level. I feel like people aren't talking about Fruitland enough, who's currently beating Weiser 13-6. And I was going to ask you, do you think there's a chance that Fruitland has a fighting chance to maybe unseat Sugar Salem, East Idaho's pride and joy in the 4A?
Does Fruitland have the firepower offensively? I think.
Yeah.
But does Fruitland have the defensive firepower that Sugar brings? Sugar Salem's defense very, very solid this year. I don't know. Then you've got Homedale, a team that's met Sugar there multiple times. Homedale did lose. It was semi-close to Fruitland earlier in the year, and then Weiser now keeping it pretty close at halftime. Championships with Snake River, 1-1 at Pocatello. They don't win this game, but they're lurking in there too. I think in past years, everyone's pretty much said Sugar's got it locked up. I think there's more parity this year.
Yeah.
That'd be my answer.
I do.
My Switzerlandist answer.
Recruits overall on 247. He's submitted the University of Utah offensive lineman there for the. I'm sure they use him in more packages than just using him as an offensive lineman. As most. If you're a top athlete at Idaho, typically you're going to have the ball in your hands quite a bit, regardless of position. Reminds me a lot of when Colston Leveland was over at Gooding, or when I lived up in North Idaho, people would talk about stories of Leighton Vander Esch playing at quarterback up at Salmon River.
About to start second half action. Highland will kick off. This time it's a short kick. They're going to avoid the returners, but Skyline's going to take a pretty good run back just across the 35. And Skyline will start over here.
Yeah, great starting position for Skyline to get something going. They need to get something going. 24-6. I mean, if they don't get it here, is it end of the game? Probably not. But you'd like to see at least some points on the board, get some momentum back, and make this a game as we enter the second half, late stages. Also, score update, official upset alert at the college level. Louisville upsets Miami in Miami. Some Friday night upset for college, but everyone's watching this one. It's not technically an upset, but I'd say semi-shocking result on the scoreboard right now.
I'll be honest with you, as Skyline hands the ball off, and that's going to be stood up probably maybe just a yard past the line of scrimmage. In talking, I do the East Idaho Prepcast. Joel Richardson. Joel Richardson on Monday nights, usually 8:30. Joel's a late night guy with a newborn baby now, so we go late. And a lot of people were picking Skyline in this game, and I'll be honest with you, I picked Highland when it came down to it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, head coach Nick Sorrell. I mean, I can feel like he's a guy you just can never count out.
It's another run, and he's got a hole.
He's on the field.
Talk about some momentum. Get a nice little route. Get it out to number 12. Gets it to Kona, or excuse me, wrong, number 12.
Caden
Cruz. And then you get an extra 10 yards, most likely. Did they take the flag back?
Caden Cruz. Nice run.
And there was, I believe, a late hit that flag that was
Hillcrest, and another cross classification battle.
They should have like a series name for that, the 5A, 6A, but just between those two, the Highland Rigby and Skyline Hillcrest. I feel like those are the four true marquee programs between Idaho Falls and
Grizzlies.
Pocatello.
So yeah, personal foul. It's gonna shoot Skyline up a little bit.
I assume you keep it on the ground here, getting it close to the red zone. Or maybe they'll put Crockett in motion. There's a lot of space there on the far side.
That'll be fumble. And
oh wow.
Highland recovers it. So every possession after the first possession, Skyline has turned over the ball. And that ball went shooting out.
Yeah, it got met.
With the recovery for the Rams.
She got blasted there. And the ball flew up in the air. Highland immediately recovered it to a point where he didn't even usually, you get the scram there, and then you see both teams say, we got the ball.
Field, Cruz with a big run. Skyline was in position to score, and another costly turnover as Highland takes over here with a sweep out the left side. Cedric Mitchell. He'll get 8 or 9 there.
Mitchell picks up 10 yards on the play.
How about getting them on 3rd and long, 3rd and moderate? And last couple drives, Highland's been starting out with the pass, starting out with the run here. It seemed to keep it on the ground a little bit, take a little bit or you get longer possessions. Really, all of Highland's possessions, despite having the ball quite a few times, really only lasted less than 3 minutes each. Put together a sustained drive, get the Skyline defense a little bit.
Yeah, so Highland.
Wear him down.
Another run, and I have to reverse my call there. That Cedric Mitchell run was a first down. They did give him the first down. So after
2nd and 9.
After that play by Highland, it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 23.
Yeah, everything's been turning up Highland so far tonight. Outside of their first possession, which they punted it away. Really, ever since the Cedric Mitchell fake punt, took himself up 15 yards to get the first down, it's been all Highland.
It's been a lot of Highland defense. 3 interceptions and 1 fumble recovery. Forced fumble for sure. Quick pass out to the left side is going to be caught for a few more positive yards for Highland. Highland no problem using the clock now as we're at 8:40.
Now big third down.
Takes up 5 yards on the
for Highland, maybe not the biggest for them, but for Skyline, if you can get a 3 and out here, that would be huge. Only a couple minutes been taken off the clock.
Yeah, this is a big third down for Skyline's defense. 3rd and 4. If you could somehow force them a punt, but even if it's 4th and 4, I mean, dangerous Cedric Mitchell back there. So 3rd and 4 on the 28. Vincent in the shotgun, 2 running backs behind, or 1 running back behind him. It's Mitchell. High snap again. Vincent steps in the pocket. He goes to Mitchell. He catches it on the 50. He tackled past the 40. Wow, and every time they've done that, they put Cedric Mitchell in the backfield, and he goes late, lines up as a receiver, and Skyline's got to pick him up.
Yeah, that time they tried. He just Mitchell kind of burnt the Skyline defensive back, got a couple steps on him. A great job by Vincent. The Skyline territory is getting dangerous here for the Grizzlies. I'd personally say if the score gets up to 30-6 here in the second half, it's somewhat of a knockout punch this early.
Yeah, 7:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Vincent in the shotgun, big pass to Mitchell. He'll hand off to Mitchell. He's got room to get the first down. We'll make it a baker's dozen of yards. Not right now. It's the Cedric Mitchell show. I mean, Highland is giving us many people to consider for the IdahoSports.com player of the game.
Right.
You could go Highland's defense.
Yep.
You could go Gallo. 2 interceptions. Cedric Mitchell fake punt and getting close. He's at least got 100 all-purpose yards.
Oh,
so
at
easily,
least,
yeah.
Vincent has multiple touchdowns.
Vincent, 2 touchdowns. I mean,
let's give it to the whole team.
You've got to like it when you've got everyone contributing. If you're the Rams right now, Nick Sorrell said the bye week. They had a bitter taste after their loss to Rigby as a pitch back goes for 8 yards for the Rams. And that's Allo, who's also caught a touchdown pass. Yeah, Nick Sorrell, and talking to him, losing to Rigby badly. They had a bad taste in their mouth. Wasn't the brand of football Highland wanted to play. They had the bye week, and, sometimes when it's 6A, 5A, and it might not matter that much, how hungry you're going to be to play that game. Highland wanted this game. They needed this game. They wanted to play well. They've done that so far tonight. With 6:07 to go in the 3rd quarter. Rams 2nd and 3 on the 18. Looking to capitalize again off a Skyline turnover. High snap. They're going to go to the end zone. Miscommunication there.
Yeah, he was expecting Baldwin to fade out. Instead, Baldwin cut for more of a slant route.
If he would have went maybe to the corner.
Yeah.
And that's maybe the only mistake Jacob Vincent's done as a junior quarterback. And I wouldn't even call it a mistake, just a misread. I'll bring up 3rd and 3.
And this game will be big for it's cross classification, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Skyline still is top 16 overall in max preps in terms of rankings.
They're 3rd right now in max
so
preps.
Yeah, it'll help Highland a lot more than playing honestly any other 6A opponent.
Mitchell, right side. It's got some blockers, but Skyline will fill the gaps.
Cedric Mitchell picks up 2 yards on the play.
He's going to be about a yard short of the first down. Bring up fourth
down and 1 for the Rams.
4th and 1 on the 16. You got to assume the Rams are going to go for it. They do have a kicker that can kick from this distance easy, but Keaton Belknap has just checked in, and he's been the tush push guy.
Yeah, I go for it here too. I mean, worst comes worst, give Skyline the ball on their own 16-yard line.
So Belknap under center. He will do just that. He'll go for it, and it'll be close. He'll depend on the spot. Skyline thinks they got it.
They will.
And
that'll be a turnover on downs.
That'll be a turnover and down. So Skyline
it'll be
finding
10 for the Grizzlies.
Not over just yet.
Yeah, that's a big play. Skyline with 5 minutes left in the third quarter will get the ball back. So good defensive stand by the Grizzlies to hold Keaton Belknap there on the quarterback sneak up the middle. So, I mean, if me and you can figure out that's what they're doing, I'm sure Skyline knew.
Right.
Now, it's another thing to stop it, and Skyline did. Skyline will take over on their own 16. Be a pitch out to Crockett. He's going to be met in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss. And I'm telling you, the Rams defense looking like the Rams defense of the past.
Yeah, they've not allowed anything. Especially Crockett. I'd say Crockett, if you take away his really one insane run, he probably has negative yards in this game off that play right there. So he's really been net at the line every single time. Hasn't had any receptions, I believe.
And when I see the Rams in
besides the first one,
the black jerseys, I think of the black shirts for like Nebraska.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's going to be a handoff up the middle.
Glenn on that tackle.
He just emerged from that pile.
Jetta on that run for the Grizzlies. That's a 1st and 10.
And I think on the run,
like 9
for the Grizzlies was Oneda.
That makes more sense.
But he looked down for a loss. Somehow bounced out to the right side and got a first down. A needed first down for Skyline. Skyline's kind of picked up on this when they played Hillcrest. The sense of urgency. I think when you're down, you've got to use the clock wisely. It's 3:47 left to go in the third quarter. Giannini the third will take it himself. Quarterback designed to run. He'll get a couple yards.
Yeah, and to that point, it's kind of funny. Skyline's been using more clock despite being down. Multiple. Skyline has multiple players to go talk to the coordinator or the play caller down there. And by the time they get back, there's been 30 seconds about blown off each play for Skyline, which is very nice when you're winning. When you're losing, it's painful as a fan watching that clock tick tick tick.
Yeah, and I would say Highland isn't like in a hurry up offense, but they're run the offense with speed and like determination. Like they know what they're going to do and they're going to do it. Genie the third's going to delayed handoff, and it will be short of a first down for the Grizzlies. They'll bring up another third down.
That's a 3-yard gain for the Grizzlies.
This has to be the worst feeling as a head coach. Scott Berger's thinking, it'd be nice to, throw the ball, air it out. A couple scores. It's like, how does Shelley get back into this with their triple option? It's kind of similar to Skyline right now. How do you get back into it when your quarterback's throwing 3 interceptions?
Yeah, and what's your confidence level at, right? You've thrown 3 picks. It's a lot, but Crockett in motion. They'll fake it to him. They'll run it up the middle. There's room. He'll be close to first down. It's going to depend on the spot.
I'd say forward progress, he got it. The line.
The judge is right on. He's saying first down.
Yeah. Looked like it crossed. Honestly, good spot. One of the better spots I've seen in high school. Sometimes I'll see spots in the high school where I'm like, whoa, that was 4 yards different than what I thought it was.
Skyline, moving the ball again. They moved the ball fairly. Was kind of an issue. Giannini the third's going to roll to his right. He doesn't have anyone. He's going to throw it away smartly. As he's
That pass is incomplete.
hit after the play. Skyline coaching staff not excited about that one. It was close.
I personally did not see how hard he got hit, how late of it hit it was. I do somewhat prefer when the referees allow it QBs to get at least touched. Notice a lot in the NFL and the college football the last couple of years. Some of the calls are like, whoa. Well, it also really depends on the player in the NFL. If you're worth $400 million, you're gonna get that call a little bit more.
Yeah, and it was, I think, the instant rolls to his third, pass out to the flat. That's blown up. That'll be for a loss.
That was a great tackle there. I believe that was Brody Jones. It was.
Brody Jones in on the tackle.
A lot of juniors on this Highland team. This is really somewhat of a, I won't say rebuild because they're obviously a contender, but last year seemed kind of more like a rebuild for them. They had a lot more seniors that were stars in this year's iteration.
And that's kind of the buzz around the Rams is they're pretty young. They're a younger Rams team. You know, usually when you're calling out Rams players, it's senior quarterback, senior, you know, a young team, a team with young players making plays. As now there's only 40 seconds left in the third quarter as it's 3rd and 11. Giannina third will throw it and nearly picked off again. That pass was late. And
Marshall Glenn on that coverage.
Marshall Glenn really saw it coming, and it's going to bring up 4th and 11. And
kind of have to punt.
That'll bring up a 4th down and 11 to go for the Grizzlies.
And Skyline hasn't punted once yet this game. So they'll bring out, and now I believe Crockett punts for Skyline as well.
Number 5, which is Zion Crockett.
Yeah. So again, Skyline has someone who can, you know, fake the punt as well. But it'd be dangerous here. Crockett alone. He is going to punt it, and it's a good punt.
Whoa.
Huge punt. It's going to back the Rams all the way up, fielded at the 9, and good job by the Rams to get it past the 20.
Yeah, better return than I thought it was going to be.
That was a booming punt by Crockett.
Marshall Glenn on the return.
That's Glenn on the return for the Rams.
It'll
Made something out of nothing.
For the Rams.
And maybe they should decide the game. Cedric Mitchell goes out and see how far he can punt it. And Crockett goes out and see how far he can punt it.
Yeah.
What do you think, coaches?
Yeah, that was a booming punt. I was going to want to give Skyline better position. Either way, ball's at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Highland will probably run one play here before we go into the 4th quarter. Vincent, 2 running backs each hip.
I go with deep shot here.
And it will be handoff, reverse. Didn't fool the Grizzlies as that'll be tackled for a loss. Kind of fooled me. I looked at the other guy. But
Tyler Loftus and Taylor on that tackle.
Taylor in on the tackle. A dynamic player for Skyline. 5-yard loss. That'll be the end of the quarter.
To the end of the third quarter.
And nothing changes in the third quarter except for who has the ball, as it's 24-6 on East Idaho game night. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back for the final quarter of action on IdahoSports.com.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is.
Array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
When it's time to get health insurance, Your Health Idaho is the place to go. It's Idaho's health insurance marketplace where you can shop and compare plans from well-known insurance companies and lower your monthly premium with a tax credit you can't get anywhere else. Plus, certified local agents can find you the right plan for free. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. See how much you could save.
Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night. As your score is 24-6, the Rams over Skyline. And Mitchell will run it as before the fourth quarter, Skyline was forced to punt. Highland will take back over to start the fourth quarter.
Belknap.
Or that was Belknap on the run there. 11 yards on that run for Belknap. And Logan's supposed to tell me when they put Belknap in, but hasn't been letting me know.
I was distracted.
As Jacob Vincent comes back in to lead the huddle. But, you know, it's worked tonight. They've put Belknap in at the right times. He didn't get the 1 yard to get the first down. It didn't matter. It was deep in Skyline's good territory. Vincent will take over. Vincent in trouble. He's going to air it out. He's got a receiver, overthrows him.
It's a quick 3 now for Skyline.
Vincent's pass is incomplete, intended for Teeny.
So it's Highland.
Fourth down for the Rams.
Which was, you know, there was 20 seconds left in the third quarter, and now it's 11:08 in the fourth quarter, and Highland already forced the punt. You would imagine. Well, I don't know. It's fourth and 4. Mitchell back there. You've got to keep your mind that he could run this. Crockett back to receive for the Grizzlies. Mitchell, I maybe thought about it, or just that roll. The punt will take a
great bounce.
Generous Grizzly bounce. If there wasn't any scores, this could be really a punting battle, right?
Really
if both defenses would have held out.
It'll be 1st and 10.
We'll get the ball back as Highland leads 24-6. 10:55 to go in this game. Again, a lot of next week we're entering the final season of regular season of high school football, which is crazy to think. And then it'll be playoff time. You know, if Highland can get this win tonight, I mean, there's still 11 minutes left, and then beat Madison, they're probably firmly in the driver's seat for a playoff spot.
How many? 12, right, for 6A?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say let's just put them in. Let's call it good.
Large bids. There's 3 at-large bids. Last year, all 3 made it: Rigby, Madison, Highland. Madison loses to Minico tonight. We'll have to check back.
They're on almost a must-win next week.
And then Madison will be in a. We got to beat Highland. You know, both teams and where they go in that draw will be very dependent. Skyline takes over here. On second down, run will be close to a first down. I think it'll be a little short as he runs up. The sideline referee.
We should just add a couple more weeks into the schedule. I know in Oregon we used to play. Well, I didn't. I grew up the first 10 years. We're moving to Idaho, Boise, high school. But in Oregon, I'm pretty sure they played 9 or 10 games a season. And their playoffs was, I mean, less classifications, but I'm pretty sure they had 32-team playoffs. So some of those kids are playing like 15 games a year, which is probably a little much, but.
So they did get the first down. Skyline will have 1st and 10 on the 27, 9:35 to go. Skyline's got to pick up the pace, I think, though. Lone in the backfield is Genie the third. He's going to air it out. He's hit as he throws, and that'll be incomplete. Highland brought the house, and it worked.
Pass is called incomplete.
Yeah, Jackson Collard is the first one to break through the offensive line for Skyline. Met with another one of his teammates. He hit the number on that. Both of them ran in there, and hit quarterback as he was throwing. And didn't really get much. Hey, at least when they get hit like that and the ball comes out odd, at least there was no one in the area where the ball landed. That could have been a lot worse.
There was no one in that middle part of the field. And Skyline will have 2nd and 10. Incomplete pass does stop the clock.
I've seen occasional fireworks just appear.
Yeah, there's been some
on the golf course.
Someone's still celebrating from the 4th of July. I live up in this area, so I'm used to it. It'll be a quarterback run. It will go basically back to the line of scrimmage.
Is there like a year-long fireworks store out here, or are they just, just stocking up?
Well, they do sell fireworks of that magnitude down the road at the reservation.
That's right.
I don't know if they sell them all year round, but people like to, stock up on things. I have a small dog, so I'm very aware of the fireworks situation. So 3rd and 8, big third down for Skyline. So they'll put 3 wide receivers closest to us, 1 on the far side. No one in motion. Giannini has time. There'll be a short screen pass, and that's going to go nowhere.
Giannini's pass is complete.
Just ragdolled him. That was just
John Garcia.
Just instantly. I was shocked. Honestly, good on number 3,
Mitchell on that
John Garcia, for holding on to the football. He was blasted. He didn't have anywhere to go. It's almost somewhat of a hospital pass.
And it was Isaac Mitchell, or the other Mitchell brother, on the tackle, and Skyline will be forced to punt.
Yeah, Berger's kind of cutting his losses here.
4th and 10.
With 8 and ticking, Crockett will come back out to punt for Skyline. Still 24-6, no scoring here in the second half. Crockett's punt is high, but not as far this time. And that'll take a Highland bounce to the 49-yard line.
First time Rams.
Rams will have great field position to start their drive.
Yeah, I figure you keep it on the ground. You're at the 50-yard line. You're really only, 1 first down, really, and change away from field goal range for your kicker. 8 minutes, or less than 8 minutes now. 7:43 left to go. Wrap it up. Start focusing on Madison next week in a couple more minutes.
Yeah. Now Highland's possessions have been quick, though. They've not held the ball for very long. If Highland can put together a few first downs. Could be. Skyline's there. Mitchell avoids 1 tackle. He'll still get 2 or 3 yards on the run. The clock will keep rolling.
Mitchell, the ball carrier, picks up 2 yards on the play.
Cedric Mitchell has just been solid tonight, running the ball, punting a couple times, and 1 fake punt, which really changed the course of the game all the way back to the first quarter.
Yeah, also it was looking like Skyline, who
big play.
Yeah, had a 6-0 lead, got a 3 and out. It was looking all things Skyline, and then it quickly went all things Highland. No matter of 1 play, really.
2nd and 8. High snap, picked up, given to Mitchell. Mitchell's going to break right side. He's got some speed.
Mitchell, the ball carrier.
He ran sideways faster than I can run.
I mean, there's more runner. He's definitely east to west runner. Wow, he got some. He got going once he started going. East to west.
When you do those warm-ups, maybe for like soccer players, right? And they carry the little drills where you're putting 1 foot under the other. Man, Cedric Mitchell put on a clinic there. There's not a cone he hasn't stepped over. So he gets the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 on 35. 6:30 to go here in the 4th quarter. Highland ahead, 24-6. Highland Rams again. Only 1 loss. It's the conference opponent Rigby. Be a pitch back to Mitchell now. Mitchell will go left side. He's got a blocker. He's got a little bit of room. He'll run out of real estate all the way down to the 17-yard line.
First down Rams.
Yeah, first down.
I mean, the only bad thing about that run is he went out of bounds.
Yeah, I think luckily since it's not, under whatever amount of time, the clock will still run.
Once they move the sticks, the clock will be under 6 minutes to play here. 1st and 10 from the 18 for the Rams. Any score here pretty much puts this one away. Field goal or a touchdown.
Yeah.
I really think that they're looking to Cedric Mitchell to get a touchdown here. Vincent is going to hand it off. Oh, and great tackle by Skyline.
Almond, the ball carrier.
Almond this time.
The
ball carrier. Almond had a good run earlier in the game. We'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, usually when I watch all these, some of the better teams in the state, which is two of these teams right here, you usually see a bunch of different guys get touches on the ball. Really, Highland's been rocking with 3 guys: Almond, their quarterback Jacob Vincent, and then the running back Cedric Mitchell. Have really been the 3 guys that really has touched the ball on offense, and it's worked well. Really only been the 3 guys that have needed touch, and their tight end Allo.
Allo got the touchdown pass, but probably most of the passing yards have went to Mitchell.
Yep.
For some big plays. 2nd and 10, 4:46. That's going to go maybe back to the original line of scrimmage for Highland.
Under 5 to go. Highland's going to
a loss of 2 on the play.
A loss of
I figure you run it here, even though it's 3rd and long.
Loss of 3. 3rd and 13.
Set it up to where your kicker wants the ball placed.
So it'll be 3rd and 13. Vincent's out there. Highland is subbing some different people in.
Maybe a screen pass to Mitchell.
3rd and 13. On the 21 now, but backs the Rams up just a titch. And going to have a timeout. Rams.
Highland.
Highland will take a timeout. They weren't quite set. We'll take it with them. It's East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Life can change. Your health insurance should keep up. Things like moving, losing your job or current coverage, or having a baby means you could qualify for new coverage and savings from a tax credit. At Your Health Idaho, you can compare plans and see how much you can save on your monthly premium. Make sure to apply and enroll within 60 days of the change. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. See how much you could save.
Guy back to, never mind, now they're changing.
All right, welcome back to East Idaho Game Night. As it's 3rd and 13 for the Rams. Vincent's going to look to pass. He's going to air it out. Back corner. He's got a receiver. Good defense.
Vincent's pass is incomplete.
By Skyline. It was intended for Baldwin, and it'll bring up a 4th down. I mean, Skyline's defense has been pretty solid.
Yeah, they have.
Except for the turnovers, right? There's just 4 turnovers have led to all the turnovers have led to points.
Right. Yeah, that's really been obviously it's easy to say that's the issue, but it really is. I mean, the 3 interceptions been the difference. And then Highland have got a couple big plays. We were expecting Highland's own keys to the game was stopping all the things they're doing against Skyline. They wanted to stop Skyline's big plays. They allowed one, but Highland's got more big plays. They wanted to stop Highland on special teams. Highland's been the better team on special teams tonight.
And the field goal is up, and it is good.
His field goal is good.
So that will bring the score to 27-6.
Flag on the field.
The flag.
Well, I'll hold on before I add it to the scoreboard. We have a flag on the field, which there's only been one flag that one holding call on Highland
against the Grizzlies.
Oh man.
And it's going to be on Skyline, which...
Did I see roughing the kicker? Personal foul?
Someone trying to jump over the line.
That's going to give Highland a 1st down. And extend this drive now.
I always wonder if kickers in these moments, like Seth Bartschy, is kind of angry about that. It's like, I kind of would rather have the 3 points, man.
The kick was good. And now it's going to bring up 1st and
11.
Well, they can still go. I was going to say 1st and goal, but it's 1st and 11, so Highland could still get another 1st down. They're on the 11-yard line. Put a man in motion. Be handoff to Mitchell. Mitchell will get that touchdown. I've been calling for it.
There's a flag. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Could be holding.
It is.
Holding called against the Rams. That'll be a 10-yard penalty.
I'll have to try the Cedric thing again.
So I try to write down notes on all the drives, and I've had to cross out twice now.
All the penalties have been on fourth down special or touchdowns called back.
And I don't think Highland or Skyline has any penalties against them at this point.
I mean, they had the personal foul.
Oh, the kicker.
To lead to that first down.
Yeah, that was their first penalty.
But I believe you're right. That's the only one. Which is rare for showing that. Usually we get the penalty-riddled games.
Yeah, it's been.
At least I do.
It's been a clean game for both teams. Both teams talk about being good at all three phases. Both teams have been pretty good in all three phases except for the turnovers. Right? Skyline doesn't have the turnovers. It's a closer game. So 1st and 16 or 15 for Highland now. After all said and done. Highlands kicked the field goal, scored a touchdown, but it's
4 yards on
going to be second and 11. Highland can still get a first. This could eat up a bunch of the clock, right? Yeah. 3:25 now.
2nd and 11.
Could put it under 2 minutes when it's all said and done here.
Highland could potentially get another first down and run it a few times.
Take a knee at that point. You'd have under 2 minutes. You'd just take a knee. Whole round under 2 minutes.
2nd and 11. On the 11. Under 3 minutes to go. It'll be a delayed handoff up the middle. Left side. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Rams. Cedric Mitchell.
Cedric Mitchell, as I was writing it before, for 11 yards. Actually gets the touchdown for 11 yards.
Look at that. Meant to be.
Should have kept my original thing on there. So that'll bring the Rams to 30 to 6. After it was all said and done, Cedric Mitchell with an 11-yard run. Felt like they needed to get him a touchdown. Well over 100 yards all-purpose. He might be close to 100 passing, 100 rushing.
Yeah. Or 100 rushing, how much receiving.
And
extra point is good.
Extra point's good, so it's 31 to 6 with 2:49 to go.
Your Highland Rams 31 and Skyline Grizzlies 6.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people expected, close game or a Skyline blowout. I think a lot of people were expecting the third option, which is the Highland blowout. And it's a rout. It's 31-6. It's nothing really worked for Skyline. Highland's been the better team all three phases of the game, all game really.
And after what was kind of a more offensive first half, that's the first points of the second half.
I'll do my research to find. At this point, it has to be. I don't think Skyline's lost this big in a long time. I mean, they were close in 25 points down to Hillcrest. They made that game a lot closer than what it was.
Yep. I would imagine Skyline has not been down in many games this year, which they really haven't. They did play that really close game in the Dome. Which was 9-6 win. The first game of the year against Granger, Utah. Kickoff is up and touchback. Skyline will take over. First and 10 on their 20.
Yeah, from what I'm looking, they haven't lost, or if the whole score holds, they haven't lost this by this much since 2022, which was a 28-0 loss to Rigby. Last year they lost 31-8 in the state championship. It's a 2-point difference what we have here. But it's very rare for Skyline to be down this much, let alone in a regular season matchup.
Yeah, I was just looking back kind of the key players for the teams. And Highlands, Jacob Vincent, Keaton Belknap, Cedric Mitchell, and McKay Gallo. He's second team all-conference linebacker last year. 2 interceptions this evening. Skyline will take over. It'll be a run to the left side with some room with Crockett. Crockett showing why he is one of the big-time players in Idaho. We'll get the first down and more.
Well, Crockett's maybe not had the biggest game. He's only really had like 5 or 6 touches. But that run right there will put him over 100 yards all-purpose, as he had about, 60-something yard touchdown reception earlier, and then about a 30-yard run there. So he has to be at least close to 100 all-purpose yards. It's one of the worst games probably of his season.
Yeah, Crockett last week against Thunder Ridge had 84 yards rushing, 30 passing, and 1 interception. So here we go. Skyline will take it past the 50-yard line.
Giannini picks up 6 yards on the play, 2nd and 4.
Giannini takes it himself. And with 1:54 to go, probably won't have the double, onside kick magic, right? The time is just really went off the clock. And Skyline had, in most of their drives, they were moving the ball, but it was the turnover, right? The fumbled one in the third quarter was big. They were in the red zone. That fumble was in the red zone for Skyline, turned it over. So 2nd and 4. Be a handoff. Left side, that'll be another first down. Highland run, or Skyline
with another first down.
Skyline running the ball well now. Highland's got, I think, some different personnel in on defense, getting some guys some time. So it's good. Highland backup defensive players are going to get some time here with 112. For Skyline, you want to end on a positive. You got Bonneville, conference opponent next week. You want to finish out strong. Highland with Madison. We'll have to see what that Madison score is before we go. Just let the Highland faithful know. Passes out, caught out of bounds. Skyline, moving the ball.
The pass is complete.
Pretty well here, but 48 seconds.
That's an 8-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 2.
So 2nd and 2 on the 28 for Skyline.
We ask that you please help clean up your trash on your way out tonight.
Yeah, still Friday Night Flash still says halftime Minnesota Madison game, still 6-6.
Got to imagine that it's progressed.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Giannini drops back. He's got a receiver. It's caught down the middle. It's going to be past the 10-yard line with 39 seconds.
That pass is complete to Dax Klinger.
Dax Klinger on the catch.
Klinger is taken down at the 4-yard line.
First time we've heard his name.
Yeah, it's the first time I've really seen a wide open receiver past 5 yards downfield and finds Klinger. Now they're 1st and goal, trying to punch in one more touchdown for the game ends.
1st and goal, 30 seconds and ticking. Skyline trying to get one more score before time expires. Going to look the pass, in trouble, throws it away as the pressure was there.
Giannini's pass is incomplete. 2nd and goal.
Good sportsmanship from Highland, helping the quarterback get back up. And it's been a good game, right? There's not been any chippiness. It's been, wealth of coaching knowledge between Nick Sorrell, Berger. I mean, they've each coached forever. Between the two teams, 22 state championships. Highland 13, the most of any school. Skyline with 9. Giannini is going to roll to his left, look for a receiver, and in the passing lanes again.
Pass is incomplete.
With Highland defenders, which not allowing.
Branson Layton on that coverage for the Rams.
Layton with the coverage there, but the Rams passing
That'll
defense.
bring up a 3rd down and goal.
Been phenomenal tonight. 3rd and 4, 20 seconds.
Yeah, only one pass interference call against them, and they've been playing this lockdown defense. Playing a lot of man-on-man. Not really allowing Skyline any room to find an open receiver outside of that Klinger catch.
With man-on-man, you're going to get a coverage sack or you're going to throw an interception, and they threw 3 of them as Skyline tonight. 20 seconds, 3rd and 4. Skyline on the 4. There'll be a run, touchdown, Skyline.
Touchdown Grizzlies.
And that's the quarterback, Genie the third, with a 4-yard run.
And he lowered his shoulder to get the extra yard to get it in for 6. So now it won't be Skyline's worst loss in 4 years.
So Skyline will get 12. I would imagine they'll go for 2. 13 seconds. Onside kick will probably be coming.
My favorite.
Skyline runs out some different personnel. And if I'm Skyline, I mean, I don't know. But maybe try to find a way to get a little more hurry up in the offense.
Right.
As you move forward in these close games. Genie will drop back. Every Highland player there, he's going to have to get rid of it. 3 Highland Rams.
They're going to call a late hit on
and they're going to have yeah, you're right, Logan. It's going to be
personal foul, roughing the quarterback. Called it in for Rams.
So it'll be a retry for the second time.
Yeah, how rare is that?
2 retries.
2-point conversion. What a meaningless retry, too. No offense to the Skyline, but
you get a chance to run, maybe a play you haven't ran.
Right.
I would use it as an opportunity, right? Because whether you get it or not isn't going to change the outcome, but maybe run something you've been working on in practice or something.
Maybe a Statue of Liberty.
I don't know.
Really special.
You're pretty close, right? Just on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, at this point I'd be disappointed if it was just a 1-yard run up the middle.
So Skyline will line it up to attempt the 2-point conversion again. Genie's going to do a quick fade at the back corner, and
wow,
it's caught.
That might have been the catch of the game. That was incredible. He went up. Incredible defense by number 23 on Highland. I believe it's 23. At least that was the defender there. But great job by the Skyline receiver. Got up, got the catch in the very corner, and got 1 foot down to get it to count for 2. Yeah, so never mind. It was not a meaningless try. That was awesome.
Take that, Logan. Take that. And Skyline here at the end of the game shows you that they're capable, right? We're just 13 seconds left. Not enough time to come all the way back, but some positive yardage, some positive plays. You don't want to end. I think you're going to feel better ending this way than ending with 6 points. It looks better at the end of the day. So we'll see if Skyline attempts the onside.
The Rams will host the Bobcats next week on Friday at 7
p.m. If they get the onside kick here, they have to.
Season finale.
Have to be getting close to some sort of record. I wonder what the record would be for most onside kicks recovered in a single season. It has to be less than 10, right?
Oh,
has to be like less than 5 almost.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine any team gets more than 1 a year.
Right.
So here we go. It is going to be onside. It's going to bounce, and Skyline recovers it. Are you kidding me?
That has to be at least. We need some research. Maybe you can get that for your East Idaho Prepcast. But that has to be some sort of record, or at least inching right there at a record for onside
It went into the breadbasket of the Highland player, and he couldn't hold on to it. And it took a favorable bounce back to the Skyline players. And Skyline with another. I wonder if they have more on the season, right? I don't have that stat really available, but how many onside kicks?
He's had what? How many against Hillcrest?
2 right in a row.
3 has to be close.
So that's. And it only took a second off the clock. I mean, now Skyline, you're gonna have to air this out, but you've got 1-2 plays left.
Their default kick should just be an onside kick.
Yeah, maybe start the game off with it. Now, if you're Skyline, if you think back to the state championship game against Hillcrest, they did an onside kick at the start of the second half and didn't get it and gave Hillcrest the ball, and they scored. So there was some bad. So you probably, they make the onside kick. That state championship could go a different way maybe, but giving Hillcrest the ball back when it was close and then Hillcrest goes and scores kind of made that game rough. So they've turned it around with the onside kicking this year. But unfortunately, probably won't get the win with 5.3 left.
Start my own end of the year award.
Best onside kicks.
Yeah, best hands team.
Holy. And it's always interesting in the cases where you know it's coming, right? There was not any deception there. I think it's weird in the NFL they have to tell them that they're doing it. I think that's just weird. So 2nd and 2, 5 seconds is probably the last play. Genie the third is going to air it out. It got too much air on it, and it won't go far enough to where anyone is, and that will be
that takes us to the end of the game.
The ball game will be 31-14 as Highland gets back on the winning ways and takes down Skyline in an entertaining battle between two different classifications. Highland wins 31-14. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with our player of the game, a game recap. It's East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
When it's time to get health insurance, Your Health Idaho is the place to go. It's Idaho's health insurance marketplace where you can shop and compare plans from well-known insurance companies and lower your monthly premium with a tax credit you can't get anywhere else. Plus, certified local agents can find you the right plan for free. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. See how much you could save.
Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night as Highland defeats Skyline 31-14. Well, it was slated to be one of the best games of the week. And despite the score, I still think it was, but it was a heavy dose of Highland defense as they caused 3 interceptions and 1 forced fumble and really got out to the lead. But how it started with Skyline causing a 3-and-out and then a Crockett 60-yard pass run for a touchdown, but after that Highland got it going after a fake punt by Cedric Mitchell, which gave them a first down and led to a 9-yard Vincent to Allo pass. And then the second quarter is where it came off the rails for Skyline as they had 3 interceptions and no points. Highland continued to score, and at halftime it was 24-6. Third quarter, Skyline on a really good drive, driving it the length of the field, but in the red zone fumbles it. Highland takes the ball back. There's no scoring in the third quarter, and then again the fourth quarter, a defensive battle. Highland's able to get a 11-yard Cedric Mitchell run. Skyline does get a late touchdown and an onside kick recovery, but not enough, and Highland goes on to win 31-14.
Yeah, and I think player of the game, ITD player of the game, has to go to McKay Gallo on Highland. There's a lot of different guys who could have probably got it, probably should do multiple, but when a guy has 2 interceptions, you got to give that guy the sole player of the game. That's why McKay Gallo, he is your Idaho Sports player of the game.
Yeah, so today's player of the game is brought to you by the Idaho Office Highway of Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game, whether you're on the field or on the road. Be in the moment, free from distraction. Yeah, so congratulations again to McKay Gallo, 2 interceptions. That will bring us to the end of our broadcast tonight. As always, coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Project Filter, Valley-wide Cooperative, Next Step Idaho Ideals, Idaho's College Saving Program, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Special thanks to Athletic Director Travis Bell, which I saw him when I got here, and everyone here at Highland for their hospitality and getting this broadcast to you. Congratulations again to the IdahoSports.com Player of the Game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, McKay Gallo. 2 interceptions. Thanks again for joining us tonight as Highland defeats Skyline 31-14. For my broadcast partner, Logan Kelso, and everyone behind the scenes at IdahoSports.com, I'm Sean Kane. Good night.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com and